How would a man fail at men's work?
How would a man fail at men's work?
Mm.
Wow. Hmm.
Fail for you.
So the initial response is, and yeah, I think there's a distinction for me between healthy men's communities and unhealthy. The unhealthy is more of the hierarchical sort of power dynamic where there's someone at the top who's setting the principles and rules and basically expecting everyone to follow that, where there are right and wrong and where there's success and failure, like where those are very predominant values. And then there's healthy men's communities where it's like whenever you're ready, whatever you're ready for, we have a container where you can come in and do the work that you choose to do,
Mm-hmm.
right?
When I say fail,
Yeah.
you can kind of think of learn. What are the pitfalls towards men's work success? Like, what are the?
Hmm.
I could think of a couple myself, but I'm wondering what ones come to mind for you.
What are the big challenges?
That'd be a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say the frame of if you have a man who wants to make some changes in their life,
Mm-hmm.
things aren't working.
Mm-hmm.
Some things aren't
Which is
working.
probably every man.
It's true, but let's say you're getting to the point of like, I can no longer do this on my own.
Okay.
Okay, to me, that's like a crossroads
Okay.
for most people, and I'm going to speak about men,
Yeah.
where men in our culture, most men, a lot of men are taught to be independent, self-reliant, and figure it out, right?
Yeah. So what do you think
And
of
not
when
be vulnerable to ask for support.
so men coming into a men's work kind of scenario? What are your things that would be failures or challenges for them?
Yes, yeah. So they're looking for change or looking for support. Let's say they go on this weekend or they go visit a men's support group.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The things that I've seen really get in the way are um, mm, men carrying a lot of shame
Shame.
around who they are, like not feeling like they are good enough. And so every time there's an opportunity presented to do something new or strive to do something better, the shame steps in and says, "You're not worthy. Give up.
Mm.
Go back into your hole." I judge there's a lot of men that are living in that space of not having enough validation as they're growing up, not enough encouragement, not enough role models. Yeah.
So
So
shame is a
shame is a
big one.
big one. Shame's a real big one. There's there's let's call it limiting beliefs. So this is cultural programming. It could come from your family, in terms of this is how a man should be. So you must do this on your own. You never show your feelings. You never ask for help.
Mm.
Those are all signs of weakness.
Mm.
Don't be that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then you can get into all kinds of things, around men's sexuality. What are their like that. The big thing for me that I look at in terms of people, men being able to really fully embrace change in their lives, change in themselves, is being able to see who they are authentically and use that as their guidepost to where to go next and what to nourish in themselves, right? And a lot of the cultural programming basically tells you who you are. And if you're not able to set that aside and actually do the work of asking yourself, what do I really want? What is it? What are my gifts? What are my true gifts? What are the what are the ways that I could impact the world uniquely? Asking those kind of questions.
Hmm.
And a lot of men, including this one, aren't able to even ask that question. We'll talk more about this later, but it wasn't until I was 40 years old that I could actually ask the question, what do I desire?
Yeah. So
It
it
was,
sounds
yeah,
like shame, these like ideas of not being good
programming.
enough or not being
Yes,
worthy, and that limited their participation or
yes,
limited their ability to kind of step up and contribute or take part in the things that the group was doing. The second is self-limiting beliefs and cultural programming, things
yes,
that ideas of what they should be or what they need to do, and these impacted the way they showed up in the world.
yes,
And
yes.
something around connection to an inner, like,
Knowing who
authentic
I am,
wisdom or
knowing who I
intuition.
am. Yes. Yeah. And so there's conscious limiting beliefs, and then there's subconscious beliefs that we have. There are subconscious things we learned as children that often that's what's driving the bus,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And like being able to go in that world of uncovering the wall between our conscious and subconscious, and really seeing these old patterns that we've developed as children
Yeah.
to protect ourselves, to relate to people in our lives, and how we've carried those forward into the present.
Yeah. I'm reminded of a quote by Carl Jung. I think he said, I'm going to paraphrase here. He
Mhm.
said something like, until the subconscious is made conscious, it will rule our lives and we will call it fate. Something like that.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
quote. And yeah, MKP, one of the foundational principles is about uncovering our past wounds, our past programming,
Hmm.
and using that as not only a stepping stone to growth, but actually access to um, amazing source of energy
Yeah.
that we can use.
Yeah.